Bama has always been a success under Nick Saban, and beyond football, he gave Nate Oates advice that will make Bama scary on the court against opponents. Did you see it? Before the news, subscribe to the channel. Alabama is experiencing a moment of ascension that transcends the lines of the games. While the football program begins a new era under the command of Kalen DeBoer, the Crimson Tide basketball now reigns at the top of the national rankings, and Nate Oates knows that this cannot, and will not, change the team's mentality. The lesson? An old acquaintance in Tuscaloosa, coming from the legend Nick Saban. Alabama is no stranger to success, but being the team to hunt is a challenge that few programs know how to handle. In football, the Crimson Tide have spent more than a decade as the target of every other team in the country, and now its basketball team is in the same zone of pressure. The coach acknowledges the importance of the ranking and the impact it has on the fans, but he makes it clear that the focus inside the locker room cannot change. "It's good for our fans to be ranked," Oates said. "As far as we're concerned, internally, it shouldn't have any effect on anything we do." Alabama is coming out on top with a dominant 20-3 record, with an impressive 9-1 in the SEC. But the reality is that, just like in football, what separates the greats from the giants is the ability to maintain a winning mentality in the face of success. And that's where Nick Saban's words come in. During his interview with the Pat McAfee Show, Saban shared one of his philosophies regarding preparation. Oates, always mindful of the lessons of the most successful coach in college football history, made a point of showing a clip of the interview to his team. Saban said coaches from other teams often ask him what he does differently to prepare his teams for a national championship. His answer? Always the same. He approaches every week like a big game. Every preparation is for a championship. And Oates knows that's how Alabama needs to act. He almost looked at them like it was a dumb question, Oates recalled. Like, didn't you have a big game last week? Weren't you preparing for a big game the week before? Alabama has proven itself to be one of the best teams in the country, but the key to maintaining that position is mindset. The next challenge? A matchup with Texas, and for Oates, preparation needs to be approached the same way as it would be for a national championship. That's the DNA that has made Alabama football the powerhouse that has dominated college sports for the past 15 years, and if basketball follows suit, history could be about to repeat itself, only this time on the court. The Iron Bowl in basketball is approaching and all eyes will be on the Crimson Tide. Being number one brings recognition, but it also brings an even bigger target. But if there's one thing Alabama knows how to do, it's handle the pressure and keep building its history. Let's keep going. If there is one clear sign that Kalen DeBoer's Alabama is on the right track, it is the confidence that top recruits continue to show in the program. Jabarius Gear, one of the most promising talents in the 2027 class, reaffirmed his commitment to the Crimson Tide and made it clear that, for him, Tuscaloosa is already a second home. The edge rusher from Vigor High School is a four-star prospect and represents the future of Alabama football. His verbal commitment came in July 2024, still in DeBoer's first summer as head coach, a period that could have been turbulent with the departure of Nick Saban. But, contrary to what many predicted, Alabama continues to recruit at a high level and maintain its identity. And for Gear, that identity remains intact. What keeps him connected to the Tide is not only the prestige of the program or the tradition of victories, but also the environment he found within the university. All the coaches in the Alabama family, Gear said of his decision. It's a great place to be. It feels like home, so that's what I want, the feeling of home. That's the reason. A transition in leadership always brings questions, and with a legacy like Saban's, any new coach would face questions about his ability to maintain the same level of excellence. But DeBoer has proven, week after week, that Alabama isn't slowing down. Gear is one of those who sees that firsthand. I feel like he's excelled as a coach, the young defensive back said. They're going back to the old Alabama because I've seen the changes they've made. I feel like he's going to fit in really well in Nick Saban's place. Accolades like that don't come from just any recruit. Gare is a genuine talent, and he just earned his spot in the 2027 Under Armour All-America game after an impressive performance at Under Armour Atlanta. His explosiveness and athleticism are traits that fit perfectly into the DNA of the Crimson Tide's dominant defenses. The guys on the edge are big on defense, so being explosive is probably the biggest key on defense, Gare said. I just work on my training every day and get better. The commitment of a recruit of that quality speaks volumes about the confidence he has in the future of the program. Alabama continues to recruit at the highest level, attracting talent who want to be part of a winning culture. Gare is one of those players. He sees the work being done, feels the energy in Tuscaloosa, and believes in Kalen DeBoer's project. If there's any doubt about Alabama's continued presence at the top of college football, just look at players like Jabarius Gare. The Crimson Tide isn't just maintaining its identity, it's proving that the future can still be as bright as the recent past. Alabama's wide receiver factory continues to churn out talent, and Corey Barber is yet another name that's about to enter the national radar. The wideout from Spain Park High School in Hoover, Alabama, received an offer from the Crimson Tide on Tuesday, and the opportunity to wear the red and white of Tuscaloosa carries special weight for him. It means a lot to be a Bama, Barber said. There's a lot of legacy behind it. And for good reason. If there's one position where Alabama has established itself as a benchmark in recent years, it's wide receiver. The program has become a true WRU, developing elite players who shine in both college football and the NFL. Barber recognizes the tradition and knows what it means for his future. Alabama is known for being a WRU, the young talent said. They produce the best guys at receiver, and it's a great place to prepare for the league. Barber may not be ranked on any major recruiting site yet, but that's only a matter of time. His performance at Under Armour Atlanta has caught the attention of some big-name programs, and his list of offers now includes Arkansas, Auburn, Miami, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Oregon, Washington, and West Virginia. But among all those options, Alabama's offer carries a special meaning. What makes Barber such a promising prospect? Simple, he's a high-performance player. In 2024, he's put up impressive numbers: 1,429 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 74 receptions. Not only does he know how to create separation on the route, but he also excels after the catch, traits that fit perfectly into the Crimson Tide's scheme. And the Alabama connection may just be beginning. Barber has already made it clear that he wants to visit Tuscaloosa as soon as possible, and if the interest is mutual, it's hard to imagine him not being a top target for the Tide in the coming months. Alabama has always been a national recruiting powerhouse, but the program's true strength lies in the way it turns prospects into stars. Corey Barber sees this opportunity before him and understands that if he wants to follow in the footsteps of the greats who have come through Tuscaloosa, this could be the best gateway to the next level. Jalen Hurts embodies everything you'd expect from an Alabama player: resilience, a winning mentality, and the ability to overcome challenges. From the moment he stepped foot in Tuscaloosa to his Super Bowl 59 MVP, Hurts' journey is a reflection of what it means to wear the crimson. Now, as Alabama football enters a new era under Kalen DeBoer, the Hurts connection continues to be a shining example of what this program is all about: competitors ready for the biggest stage. Hurts' path has never been easy. At Alabama, he's experienced both peaks and uncertain moments. As a starting quarterback, he led the Tide to a national championship as a freshman, but his moment of glory was cut short in 2018 when Nick Saban made one of the toughest decisions of his career and replaced Tua Tagovailoa at halftime of the game against Georgia. Any other player might have walked away crestfallen, walked away from the team, or complained about the choice. Hurts didn't. He stayed, kept training, waited for his opportunity, and when it came, on the same stage, against the same opponent, he delivered. He led a comeback in the SEC championship, showing he was ready for any adversity. Alabama made him a leader, but Oklahoma helped transform Hurts into the complete quarterback the NFL needed to see. In a system more focused on the passing game, he proved he could throw with accuracy and efficiency. The move to the Sooners wasn't a goodbye to Alabama, but rather a necessary step in his evolution. And when the draft arrived, the Eagles saw what so many still questioned: Hurts had something different. Philadelphia's choice was criticized. After all, Carson Wentz was there, with $1 million contract, and few believed Hurts could be a franchise quarterback. But what happened? The same old script. Hurts got his head together, worked hard, evolved, and when he got his chance, he never looked back. He led the Eagles to a Super Bowl in 2023, came up short, heard more criticism, and now, just a year later, he has delivered the ultimate answer: a title, an MVP, and a place in league history. And all of this has its roots in Alabama. It's impossible to ignore how his time in Tuscaloosa shaped his mindset. The Crimson Tide culture has always been about discipline, preparation, and resilience, and Hurts has absorbed that like few others. He's not just a talented quarterback, he's a competitor, a leader, and an example of what Alabama is all about. Now, looking ahead, Alabama football is entering a new phase with Kalen DeBoer. Many wonder if the program will continue to be on top, if the post-Saban transition will be smooth, if the Crimson Tide will still be dominant. But all you have to do is look at players like Hurts to understand that Alabama doesn't just build teams, it builds a mindset. And that mindset doesn't go away with a coaching change. Alabama's DNA is ingrained in every player who has come through the ranks, and DeBoer inherits a culture that has proven, time and time again, that it doesn't back down from a challenge. Jalen Hurts is yet another example of what this program stands for. He's faced challenges, changed his ways, exceeded expectations, and now he's established himself at the highest level of the sport. But no matter how many jerseys he wears in his career, the essence of the player he's become was shaped in Tuscaloosa. And that's a reminder to anyone who doubts Alabama: you can change coaches, you can change rosters, but the winning mentality? That's never going away. Let me know what you think. Comment below.